Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Over the Weekend. Changing up the title a bit. Feel like this one fits what we're going for a little bit more. We got three stories that aren't really getting much attention, but luckily I got them for you guys. Here's the first one, which is pretty interesting, especially when you consider everything going on with the loose inmates in New Orleans. But here's the video.
On April 29th, 41-year-old Michael Bodner was released from the Cleveland County Detention Center. According to officials, it was an error. A summary order for his upcoming court date was allegedly misinterpreted by a detention clerk. Court documents show he is facing kidnapping, burglary in the first degree, and domestic assault and battery by strangulation charges.
So before we react, let's jump into what exactly is being alleged that Michael Bodner did. So he broke into a woman's house, strangled her, and refused to let her leave. During that whole ordeal, he also threatened to light her on fire. And this was the guy that they just let out. Now again, all of this is alleged, but it should also be noted that this happened April 28th. So as of this recording, it's been 43 days since he's been released to jail. In a response, the jail has stated that they've called him and also his sister and asked him to return to custody. They make it sound like they just gave him the wrong order from a restaurant. He was in jail where he's already been for a year awaiting trial. I could see someone coming back, if they only had a couple weeks sentence, maybe it's a 60 days in contestant who signed up, to complete the mission. And they're like, hey, I kind of signed up for this, let me do this. But this guy was looking at serious time. Another thing that wasn't covered in the news clip is he actually called the news station looking for the journalist that went by his parents' home to try to get an interview. He told them he thought his charges were dropped. He said he literally thought the jail just let him out. According to Michael, since he's got out, he's just been looking for a job, trying to build relationships after being locked up for a year. He is talking like it made sense to him that after all he did, that he would just be let out without going to trial or even seeing a prison. As for the courts, you would assume they would have a better checks and balances system, not to just willy-nilly let a violent offender out who's not only a threat to the community as a whole, but even the victim in this case. These are the things that we would see in a horror film and just think, like, that's BS, there is no way this can happen. But apparently it did in this situation. And again, weirdly, this story isn't being talked about more. Our next story is out of Collierville, Tennessee.
Tennessee. A fight at a Collierville gas station ended in gunfire Wednesday afternoon, according to the Collierville Police Department CPD. CPD said two women who work at Carrier, an air conditioning company, got into an argument at the Express Mart on Byhalia Road just before noon. During the argument, Temecula Taper fired one shot at the other woman, missing her and striking a nearby gas pump, according to police. CPD said warrants have been issued for Taper's arrest. CPD said Taper ran away from the scene before officers arrived. No one was injured in the gunfire.
So one of my first videos on this channel was about the feud between Tashara Jackson and Jackie Shabazz. If you haven't seen it, I'll post the link in the description. But that and this last story share a lot of similarities. Working from home, I didn't realize how much drama, or the level of drama it gets in the workplace. I can't see any issue at a job where it gets to the point where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna pull up on James this weekend and we're gonna shoot it out. But apparently that's what happened at this job. They met up at a gas station and then the shooter hit a gas pump, potentially setting everyone on fire over a work beef. Your level of hatred for someone has to be at a crazy level for you to ignore the fact of, yourself being harmed or even caught by the police. Like, you almost set a whole gas station on fire, including putting a whole bunch of innocent lives at danger. Don't get me wrong, I have coworkers I have not liked in the past, but this, what does someone do to you at the job that you're just firing shots at them in broad daylight? But it is strange though, it does seem like women as a whole have become more aggressive today. Can you imagine telling women of yesteryear about some of the situations and the conflicts between women going on nowadays? I would imagine one of the first questions they would ask is what are the men doing? How are they combating this? Which, interestingly enough, brings us to our next story.
Memphis, Tennessee. A man opened fire on a Memphis apartment with 12 children inside of it, according to the Memphis Police Department, also known as MPD. MPD said the gunfire happened in November 2024. A woman told officers that she got into a fight with another woman at the Springdale Creek Apartments. After that fight, according to police, 25-year-old Markavus Hampton came to the apartment complex with a gun. The woman told officers that, as she entered the apartment, Hampton began shooting. Those bullets struck windows and flew inside of an apartment unit, while 12 children were inside of the apartment, police said. Police arrested Hampton and charged him with 15 counts of aggravated assault, reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, and vandalism of $1,000 or less.
With all the great skills and things that AI can do, for whatever reason, it still can't pronounce black names. Obviously, it's Marcavis is my best guess. So this is a guy that got himself into a situation with one of these crazy aggressive women of today. How did he adjust? He responds by shooting at her ops. There's a great YouTuber named Dr. Tia San Johnson. He spoke of a idea. He calls it the pitbull proxy. This is when a woman gets into an altercation and involves a close male, whether it's someone she's dating or a relative, and basically have them carry out her physical threats. Picture Cersei and the Mountain from Game of Thrones. But unfortunately, in this situation, this dude's going to jail after potentially harming 12 children, over two women having a physical altercation. It could have ended up with, a child losing their life. He could have been charged with attempted but it sounds like they only gave him aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. But either way, you threw your life away, just a spur of the moment over in a situation that didn't involve you. It was really between, two women. No more vacations, no parties, no clubs, books, movies, silly internet debates, whatever he could be into or was into. Saying that sentence sounds crazy, but just think he's going to be in a cell by himself with those thoughts. On top of that, you got the prison politics, gang culture, whether it's overblown or not, the LGBTQ plus culture. But hey, maybe it was love. Maybe she sticks it out through his lengthy sentence. Maybe. But what did you guys think about today's stories? Be sure to like and subscribe.